The dimly lit diner buzzed with the quiet hum of late-night chatter, but everything stopped the moment John Kennedy stepped through the door. Not the John Kennedy of history books, but a man bearing the same name, a grizzled, silver-haired owner of this struggling eatery, a place he'd poured his soul into for 30 years. His sharp blue eyes scanned the room, hidden behind a pair of thick glasses and a low-pulled cap, as if he were a fugitive in his own kingdom. The staff didn't recognize him at first. He'd come incognito, craving a moment of anonymity after months of battling creditors and sleepless nights. Tonight, he just wanted a sandwich, his own recipe, the one that had once made this place a local legend. But as he shuffled toward the counter, clutching a crumpled $5 bill, the voices of two cashiers cut through the air like a knife, freezing him in his tracks. "Think he'll sell it?" whispered Sarah, a young cashier with tired eyes and a nervous habit of twisting her apron strings. She glanced at her coworker, Mia, a fiery single mom who'd been with the diner since her teenage years. The diner was on the brink of foreclosure, and rumors had swirled that John might have no choice but to let it go. Mia leaned closer, her voice dropping to a conspiratorial hush. "If he does, we're done. I've got 2 kids to feed, and this job's all I've got. He's gotta know that, right?" Her words trembled with a mix of anger and desperation, and John's heart sank. He stood there, unseen, the sandwich order forgotten in his hands, as the weight of their words crashed over him. He hadn't realized how deeply his struggles had rippled through their lives. John Kennedy wasn't just a businessman, he was a widower who'd lost his wife, Ellen, to cancer 5 years ago. The diner had been their dream, a place where families gathered, where laughter filled the air, and where Ellen's secret sauce recipe turned ordinary sandwiches into something magical. After her death, John had kept it going, clinging to it as a lifeline. But the economy had turned, customers dwindled, and the bills piled up. He'd hidden his financial woes from the staff, putting on a brave face while selling off personal belongings to cover payroll. Hearing Sarah and Mia now, he felt the sting of guilt. He'd failed them, and the realization hit him like a punch to the gut. He stepped back into the shadows, his mind racing. Should he reveal himself? Confront the situation head-on? Instead, he listened as the conversation unfolded. Sarah's voice broke as she admitted she'd skipped meals to save money for rent, her dreams of culinary school fading with each unpaid shift. Mia confessed she'd been working double shifts, hiding her exhaustion from her kids, terrified they'd see her cry. Their vulnerability mirrored his own. John had been skipping meals too proud to ask for help, too stubborn to let the diner die. But their words ignited something in him, a flicker of resolve. He wasn't just fighting for a business, he was fighting for these people who'd become his surrogate family. The next morning, John called an impromptu staff meeting. The diner was empty, the chairs stacked upside down on tables, the air heavy with uncertainty. He stood at the center, no cap or disguise this time, his face etched with lines of worry but also determination. "I heard you last night," he began, his voice steady despite the lump in his throat. Gasps rippled through the small crowd of waitstaff and cooks. Sarah's cheeks flushed with embarrassment, while Mia's eyes narrowed, bracing for bad news. John held up a hand. "I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but I'm glad I did. I've been carrying this burden alone, thinking I could save this place by myself. But I can't, not without you." He outlined a plan. The diner needed a revival, and he proposed a community fundraiser, a sandwich revival night, where they'd showcase Ellen's recipes, donate a portion of the proceeds to staff support, and rally the town. The challenge was immediate. They had 1 week to pull it off. Supplies were low, marketing non-existent, and John's savings were nearly depleted. Sarah hesitated, her confidence shaken, but Mia stepped forward, her maternal instinct kicking in. "If we're in this together, I'm in," she said, her voice firm. The team rallied. Sarah took charge of social media, her culinary passion reigniting as she posted videos of the sandwiches, while Mia organized a local band to draw a crowd. John worked the kitchen, his hands trembling but steadying with each sandwich he crafted, memories of Ellen guiding him. The night arrived, and the diner transformed. Fairy lights strung across the windows, the aroma of fresh bread and sauce filling the air. Townsfolk poured in, drawn by nostalgia and the staff's heartfelt pleas. Sarah's videos had gone viral, and even old regulars returned, their eyes misty as they tasted Ellen's sandwiches again. But midway through, a power outage struck. plunging the diner into darkness. Panic set in, food would spoil, the night could collapse. John, leaning on a cane from an old injury, rallied the team. "We've got candles, we've got heart, let's keep going," he urged. They lit the place with flickering flames, turning the outage into a cozy, intimate vibe. The band played acoustically, and the community pitched in, sharing stories of how the diner had shaped their lives. By midnight, the fundraiser raised enough to cover the next month's mortgage and a small bonus for the staff. Tears streamed down John's face as he hugged Sarah and Mia, their relief palpable. The diner wasn't saved yet, but the tide had turned. In the weeks that followed, the momentum grew, local businesses offered partnerships, and a crowdfunding campaign kicked off, bolstered by the night's success. John opened up about Ellen's legacy, inviting the staff to share in the recipes, ensuring the diner's soul lived on through them. As the months passed, the diner stabilized, a beacon of resilience. John, no longer hiding, stood taller, his eyes bright with purpose. One evening, as he handed a sandwich to a young customer, he overheard Sarah and Mia laughing behind the counter, planning a staff outing with their bonuses. He smiled, knowing the diner was more than bricks and mortar, it was a home, rebuilt by the people who refused to let it fall. The message lingered in the air, inspiring: in the face of hardship, community and courage can turn despair into hope, one sandwich at a time.